Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Excited to be connecting in with you on the Author's Journey, where we talk to amazing experts, best-selling authors, and they pull back the curtain and really share what the journey is like. And our amazing guest today, Karen, just recently released her book, became a #1 international bestseller in less than 24 hours. In fact, in less than 11 hours, she achieved that beautiful status. And so we're excited to have her right after the launch be able to spend some time with us and really share what the journey is like and what she discovered and any wisdom and insight that she can share with us as she pulls back the curtain and reflects on her powerful journey, because there's so much that takes place prior to a book being released and shared and launched. There's the writing, the creating, the birthing, bringing it forward, all of those pieces so that you can then launch and share it with the world. So I'm very excited to have her connecting with us today. And let me just take a moment to have us connect in. I know we can rush around and get so busy in the day, and I really want you to be able to get the most out of our time together today. So let's take a breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes, and then out through the mouth, like through a straw. Taking another deep breath. And as you do this, take a moment as you slow down. And I want to remind you that this time is just for you. It's an opportunity for us to slow down and pour into you so you can receive. You can be encouraged and uplifted and filled to overflowing. So when you go back out into the world, you're doing so from a place of fullness, not from a place of depletion or being empty. So really choose to be fully present. In fact, get a paper and a pen or a writing utensil so you can capture thoughts as they come. And there's actually something special about writing those insights and information versus typing them or texting them to yourself. It's powerful if you're able to write them. It actually helps engage your heart. It helps you take in the information on a deeper level. So I'm going to encourage you, as those insights come today, whether it's from what I share or Karen shares or what is speaking to you when you slow down a little bit and listen, I want you to capture that information and write it down. So in this time where we're slowing down, breathing, I want you to encourage you, just take a breath and really look forward to receiving and being poured into, and listen to those words and insights that are speaking to your heart, to your spirit. Beautiful. Because we want to support you on your journey to bring your powerful book, content, and transformational information to the world, because they need it. When you feel that pull, when you feel that call, that's because someone right now needs what you have to offer, the way you say it, the way you bring it forward, the way you create it. So I want to encourage you to find some steps today you can do to bring your information one step closer, one step further along the journey. Beautiful. So with that, let me introduce our amazing guest, Karen Wright. She is a #1 international best-selling author 2 times now. So we're celebrating that. So multiple times. She is a radio show host. Her show's coming to Voice America. We're excited about that. It's launching in April. She is a speaker, a retreat leader, and a savvy businesswoman who has grown a thriving real estate practice and business. She's adventurous with a zest for life. She loves to hike, walk. Her beautiful dogs, they take her, she takes them on a hike and walk every day. And she has been described as a raw and authentic and passionate writer. She is passionate about helping you live powerfully and purposely now. This is the moment to step forward. She wants to help you embrace now, fully, purposely, and mindfully. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, authentic, and beautiful Karen Wright to the show. Welcome. Woo!
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
You are so welcome. I'm thrilled and excited to have you joining us, and would love for you to share why. Why are you so passionate about now? Why is that personally important to you?
It's very important to me. In my story that I wrote, it will describe the day that my daughter died. And she passed away 16 years ago. She taught me the importance of life. And it took me a little bit to figure it out and to really lean in and step into the now movement, the now moment. And through life, if you start losing people that you love, you realize how precious life really is. That saying, life is precious. Mm. And it's so true. We never know our last breath when it's going to be. And so the now moment to me is vitally important to my life. But I try to share that with other people.
Beautiful. Also. Well, I love that. And I agree, as time goes on and we do lose those that we love in different ways, or they transition, we do realize how precious every day and every moment is. And I love that you are committed to helping people really step into the now more and more and treasure those moments so they don't just trickle through our fingers, or we're looking at the future or someday, but we're really living now and embracing that fully. And I know that ties in so closely to your book that you just released, Now or Never.
Yes.
Shine, Baby, Shine. And I'd love for you to share, I know you touched on it in your answer above, a little bit of what it's about, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to share just a little bit more about this book, Now or Never, Shine, Baby, Shine, why you wrote it. What is it about? What are you hoping that it does for people?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I wrote this because my daughter who passed away, so this is about the journey of my life with my daughter. And my oldest daughter, at the age of 18, she passed away tragically and quickly. And during that grief and processing that I went through, I realized that there was more to life, that I needed to help other people with grief and not exploit, but be very vulnerable and raw about who I am and what I am. And so this whole book started, I got involved with energy people probably about 7-8 years ago, and multiple energy ladies said, you need to write. And I'm like, what? I don't even write. I don't even journal. What are you talking about? And so I thought, by the third one who told me that, and this is like all within a year type thing, I thought, it dawned on me. I need to write not my story, but her story, Kalina's story. And it all came together. And so I call her my angelic daughter. My angelic daughter, between her and I, we forged through this, and she helped me get this story together, this book together. And she's been by my side the entire time. And my hope is to those who read, my hope is they will feel my words. As I wrote, I kept asking, I want people to feel what these words are saying on each page. I want them to be there with me. And hopefully it would help them open up, heal them in a way that would just maybe hadn't happened before. And it's not just loss a loved one, but also there's many forms of loss, divorce, loss of jobs, things like that. And you can broaden the scope for your life in general when you have your ups and downs. So I'm hoping it will touch those to motivate them, to help them, to get them through something they might be going through. So, yeah, that's why.
Thank you for sharing. No, I appreciate it because your willingness to share the emotion in it to really open yourself up in that way. I love that clear intention that your readers would feel what was being shared, that you're helping them connect with the emotions and process through your story and Glena's story, and that you're willing to share that part of your life with them. I know that some of the feedback people have said it reads like a novel. It's like you can't put it down. You flip from one page to the next because you're instantly pulled in and become part of the story. And I think that is so powerful that you were able to share in that way and open up the feelings and the emotion part of something that was so traumatic. And what a gift to all readers to be able to go on that journey with you and be part of what you experienced, and really looking at how they're looking at loss and that they can come out on the other side. And that's something I appreciate about you, Karen, that when I met you, I just felt like, wow, she's so powerful, so positive, so joyful, and just emanates happiness. And it's so interesting to learn more about you and the journey that you went on and all that you went through, and yet getting to see you on the other side. And I think this book is just such a gift for people that are wanting to know that they can find themselves, that they can live in the now, that they can process and feel all that needs to be felt, and that it's all good, and that they're not alone in that. So thank you for bringing your powerful book forward, being willing to just share so openly with people so that they can be real on the journey with you as you are with them. And as we go to our first commercial break, listeners, I want you to think about what you're bringing forward. What do you have people saying, you should write that, you should bring that forward? I love Karen heard 3, and then she started listening and questioning, maybe I should, and finding the way to bring it forward. If you have multiple people saying that to you, start getting curious about how can you bring it forward. And we'll look forward to talking to you and continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what's happening on the Voice America Talk Radio Network by keeping up with us on Twitter. You can find us at Voice America TRN.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed exploring, feeling in what is being called to be brought forward. What have people been tapping you on the shoulder or sending you a message, or after a conversation, they're saying, you should write that. You should share that. Those are great indicators that it's time to start bringing that transformational information and insight forward, that it's being called forth, and then looking at how. And I loved how Karen was illustrating and talking about being deliberate in what she was writing, that she wanted what she wanted the experience of the reader to be, what she was hoping would happen from the reader's experience, that they could feel the words that were being shared. So as you're looking at bringing your work forward, I would encourage you to write down, what do I want the reader's experience to be like? What do I want them to feel or think or experience in my writing? Really, really great insight that Karen's sharing with us already. And we're just getting started, so I love that. So I want to go back to those moments where you're getting hearing those three people, different energy people that are telling you to bring your story forward. You need to write this down. You need to share this. How did you go from maybe I should bring this forward and kind of exploring that to doing it? What helped you bring that into action, bring it into the now?
Okay, so I have a really close relationship with God, the universe, whatever people believe in, the higher supreme. And I talk to him all the time. And so I love getting out on the trails and talking to him. And after I had gotten my third forceful, Karen, you need to write, I'm up on the trails. And I'm like, okay, God, if I'm supposed to write this book, this story, I said, I need help. So open the doors, put people on my path who will help me to write this book. And seriously, the next weekend, I'm doing this nonprofit. We have a guest speaker, and it's Bridget Cook, who's the speaker, who's this well-known storyteller and author herself, and she puts on retreats to help people write stories and learn to write. And so I went up to her after she spoke, and I said, hey, you get to write my story. I mean, my mindset, this was the person who was going to write my story. And she laughed at me and gave me a hug, and she goes, you will write your story, and I will help you. And I was like, what? And so the journey began. So, and it continued to happen like that. As the book began, I signed up for a year retreat a year program with her. It was intense. It was 10 weeks of writing a chapter a week. So emotions, things were being pulled out of me like that onion, from Shrek. I'm like, emotions that I didn't deal with. And so anyway, things were being pulled out, but I asked for help. And I think that's the main thing, is asking for help and recognizing the help when you see it, and then just going after it.
Beautiful. And I love how you did that. And you were, okay, great. You move forward into that next piece. And we're going to do this. And you just kept taking those steps, and we're willing to kind of peel back that onion and go on the journey. And I'm just curious, from the death of your daughter and all that you went through, how long was it from that time period to you starting to write and even process some of those emotions that hadn't been processed yet?
So she passed away in 2014, And I began writing in 2019.
Yeah.
So it had been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So those emotions were just stuck.
Yeah.
They did not want to come out. And so the healing process of letting them come out, the last 18 months as I've been writing and releasing and crying and going through all those emotions that I didn't really do beforehand because I went into survival mode, like grief, depression, survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really allow myself the opportunity to grieve and cry, just cry.
Mm.
And so it's been it's been a long time since that all happened.
Well, and what a beautiful gift that you found that support, got that support to support you in the journey and bringing it forward, but even help hold that space as you're writing the story and as you're processing those things, and create a safe space for you to process those emotions and to release them and to bring it forward, because you experience so many different types of loss that I know you share about in your book, and what courage it took, I believe, to face all of that again and sometimes relive some of it and be willing to feel some of those things and process and release. And did you find that, looking back over the last 18 months, right? So it's been 18 months when you started this journey of writing and bringing it forward. What sort of transformations have you seen in your heart, your spirit, and your life by going on the journey and bringing the book forward and birthing it?
It has been very freeing, liberating, empowerment. Like, those are my words that are they're written, and spiritual. Oh, so spiritual. And I'm like, there's a time and reason for everything, right? And this is my time in my life where I had the opportunity. I'm, on my own doing things, and I had the time to be able to write and just pour everything in. And as I was going through the grief and the pain and the sorrow and the joys and the laughter and everything, the good and the better, it's just like my life just started to unfold. And I became a person who has my heart opened, and the love just was able to flow freely instead of me being so guarded. Because through my book, there's a lot of things I reveal about who I am and the hurt I've caused other people by my actions, and owning your mistakes, owning things that you've done, and allowing yourself to own it and then let it go is the most empowering and healing process. I mean, they call that repentance, right? To see what you've done wrong, repent or whatever, but owning it and allowing it to be free of you anymore. But that was a part of me. That was a part of my life. And that helped me grow and learn about pain and sorrows and bad decisions, but being able to come out to the other side and looking at it going, I'm not that person I was. I have evolved, and I'm continually evolving. And the joy of seeing where I was to where I am now is remarkable to me. I just like, I can't believe that's me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. So with this journey and all the transformation you've gone on in bringing the book forward, is there something that surprised you just on the author side, like as your, and maybe it's the experience of it, are there some things that when you started the journey, you didn't know, well, that's part of the journey, or I didn't know that happens or that's needed on the journey in bringing the book forward? Were there some things like that you'd want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I mean, it's to those who are writing a book, it's like, I didn't understand the process. I didn't understand what it took. And, I'm thinking you sit down, you write a chapter, you write a story. Just write it out, write the chapter, move on to the next. But I tell you what, it was rehashing, redoing each chapter 4 or 5 times to get it to where it was smooth and beautiful and graceful and authentic as it transformed. And watching the transformation from my first rough draft to the complete job, I look back going, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I did this. And it was not just me, it was my support team that helped, but allowing people to read it, allowing others to read what you have, allowing yourself to be open to suggestions, open to comments. So as an author, you're learning and growing instead of just saying, no, that's not how I want it. I want it this way. There's something that's like that. But I think allowing yourself to be open to get feedback from people you feel safe with and understand where you're going and your journey, they're with you the entire journey, is really important. It's really important to me.
Beautiful. And I love that you created that and that you listened too, because sometimes we bring in information or support and we're not always open because we're bringing it forward this way. So I love that you were able to create that kind of support on the journey, that you felt safe and you were able to take in the feedback and information and entrust people with your story and to share it and get their feedback. Because I know on our site, sometimes we call them book babies, because there's a birthing process as a creation and really bringing it forward and wanting to honor that journey and really help the book baby shine as it's being shared out into the world. And sometimes that takes input from people. But it's so important as an author that your story, what you're called to bring forward, is being brought forward and honored and is unfolding beautifully and powerfully so that it can serve in all the ways it's called to serve. So I love that you created that. And I think that's really great advice to be open to bring in that support, to get feedback. I think sometimes we're so close. We're in the frame. We're too close. We can't see outside of it or what it's like to read the story that we're sharing, because it all connects for us, but there can be gaps for the reader because they haven't walked the walk that you have. So I think that's just so brilliant that you were willing to get support and not have those blind spots to really help serve at the highest level and honor your story on such a high level. So I love that rewrite and rewrite. It's not just sitting down and writing. So I think that's important to share.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, sorry, it was interesting. No. I went to a writer's retreat, and Paul Williams that wrote The Stack, we had the privilege of listening to him tell his story and his writing. And I remember what stood out to me is that, he wrote this story, gave it to his kids, family, whatever. And then they, someone approached him about publishing it. And he goes, I found a team, and we sat down and we rehashed and redid the chapters to transfer it from my thoughts into, like you just said, the gaps were filled in. Because no one's inside my brain, which is probably a really good thing. But having someone to see you from the outside, reading it and bringing in those important pieces that as an author, but it did not get down on paper. And so that kind of stuck with me, just listening. And that was, probably a year ago, I listened to him at this retreat, and I thought, okay. So even the best of the best of the best authors still have their team, still have their support, because that's how you become the best you can be. You can't do it by yourself. And I really believe that. You cannot do it by yourself.
Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. And I know our listeners do as well. And I love that you were willing to get that support to bring in a team to help it become the best that it can be and be brought forward in that way. And that's such a reminder to all of us that even those who are this is what they do. Part of how this becomes what they do at such a high level is that they continue to bring in that support. They continue to bring in a team. They're not doing it on their own. They're really bringing in all of that, all those parts that they need, all of that team that can help them make it the best that it can be and brought forward. I love that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just curious, because I know this just happened this past weekend, that you launched a book. And it was on your birthday. So, I mean, really special on multiple levels. So we got to celebrate your birthday, do the book launch, and it became a bestseller. And then a number one bestseller. And then it became a number one international bestseller, all within 11 hours. What was that like for you?
Oh my heck. I had to be reminded by a very, very wise person to chill, Karen, and enjoy the moment. Because my mind started wandering. I had this squirrel going, okay, so what's our next step? What do we have to do? You know. And so anyways, very, very wise Rebecca told me, Karen, take a deep breath, boost. Remember living in the now. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Take my own word of advice, right? Live in the now, Karen. But it was just so surreal. You know, you work and work to make something happen, and all of a sudden it's happening. You plan it, it's going. Everyone's got their work. They know what they're going to be doing for the next 24, 48 hours, and everything's implemented, and it goes. And I didn't know what to expect. And I was so thrilled, like, you know, I was so thrilled with what was happening. And then when I became number one international bestseller in 5 countries, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And 35 categories. And I just wanted to just yell it out to the world, you know, but I live by myself and my kids were gone and I'm texting them going, hey, this is happening. And, you know, I reached out to a couple friends and they're like, oh, we're so happy for you. And I'm like thinking to myself, no, you really don't understand what I feel because you haven't done the journey. Yes, they're happy. They're supporting you. They're happy for you. But it's like, but you don't really get it. It's like this so much emotion and excitement happening. And it was funny today on the way home after I went and worked out and driving home. And I was at a stoplight and I said, oh my gosh, the world, they do not know. This person next to me does not know that I just went number one international bestseller in 5 countries. And it brought me back to the day, my daughter, it was a 180 when my daughter died. I remember sitting there at the stoplight crying and at the person in front of me, like, you don't know what just happened. My life was just shattered. My life has just been destroyed. But life keeps moving. Time keeps moving on. And so I had that aha moment today with me. And 16 years later, you know, where one day I hate just the worst day of my life. And then today, probably one of the best days of my life. And to see the difference was just tied everything together, I guess, for me. It was surreal. It was amazing. So, yeah.
So powerful. Thank you for sharing. I know it's all so fresh and being processed, and I appreciate you sharing from that place with us of some of what you're experiencing as you took that in, and you know, the surrealism of it and the celebration of it and the wonder of it and the processing of it. Just so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about some of what Karen is sharing and what is pulling at your heart. What are some of those insights or moments or ahas that are coming to you to support you on your journey? And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what's happening on the Voice America Talk Radio Network by keeping up with us on Twitter. You can find us at Voice America TRN.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you've been enjoying the conversation and that you've had some time during those breaks to process what's being shared and spoken to your heart and to your spirit and some of those aha moments and getting to really experience some of these profound and powerful moments that Karen is sharing with us on her journey, and that they are encouraging and inspiring you and touching your heart as well. And I wanted to, before I go too much further along, there's so many things that I love to talk with Karen about and have her share. I wanted to make sure that you knew how to connect with her, that you knew how to get a copy of her book if you don't have it already. So, Karen, do you mind sharing that information? What's the best way for people to connect in with you and to get a copy of your book?
Yeah, so you can always email me at Karen@shinenowornever.com. And then you can also follow me on my Instagram, which is also shinenowornever.com, and Facebook. Just type in Karen Wright, your best move yet.
Perfect. So they can email you, and then your website. Do you mind sharing that as well?
Yes, sorry. My website is also shinenowornever.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, go to my website. There's all the information is there, and this is also new to me. My apologies. But yes, and you can listen to other things that have been on there, podcasts and things like that. So yeah, please go and share your information so we can connect. That'd be great.
Perfect. I love it. It's beautiful videos. I know she has links to where you can get the book, as well as get on her list to be updated for notifications and retreats and things that are coming and she's doing. Speaking of which, are there any things that we should be watching for, looking for, that are coming up that you'd like to share about?
Well, the radio show will be launching April 7th. So that's
perfect.
On the Empowerment Channel, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. The show's called Now or Never. The choice is yours. And then I'm pushing for this summer, late summer, early fall, will be one of my retreats, my first retreat that we're working on and moving forward with, and that's Diamond Ignite. It's Now or Never. So you can see my theme, Rebecca, the Now or Never theme.
I love it.
I'm just carrying it through.
Beautiful. And I know your book is getting, absolutely, it's out in Kindle right now. It's getting ready to be released in print, which is exciting. And you have a journal that you're working on, too, that'll be coming out a little bit later as well. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yes, so the journal is called the Now Journal, and it will go hand in hand with my retreat. But I love the name of my retreat. It's called Diamond Ignite. And to me, I love the whole story with the diamond. You know, you come from the core of the earth, and it's just all this material come together with the pressure and the heat, and you break through the ground, and it's this beautiful diamond. And then you start polishing and getting rid of the edges, and pretty soon the dirt, and you're glowing and you're sparkling. And so I just love that whole thing. So my retreats are going to be around the authenticness and uniqueness of us as individuals. We're all diamonds. And the Now Journal will go hand in hand with it. And I'm just, it's, to me, this journey I've gone through, the importance of writing has opened up to me, believe it or not. So someone who's never journaled before, all of a sudden is like, oh, yeah, now I have a journal. I'm like, what? I think this is just crazy to me. But just the things that are important to you, living in the now, you know, the now is broken up into 3 parts. I mean, in my book, it's broken up to 3 parts, and this is why the now is so important. So nothingness, oneness, and wholeness. And so throughout this story is broken up 3 parts. You feel the nothingness, the loss of my child, the nothingness I felt with circumstances of things that happened. I had lost self-esteem. I had no self-image of myself. I didn't love myself. And so going through that in my life, and then coming into the oneness where I finally was able to look at myself in the mirror and love me. I became one with who I was and accepting all of me, and that's accepting everything, the stories that we've had and things like that, and being able to release them and move forward, but owning them, right? So they molded you. And then the wholeness of bringing it all together and allowing God, the universe, whatever, to be inside of you, being with you, and that now moment, living today as a whole. And so with my journaling, I'm hoping people will be able to write down the days they might feel the nothingness or they're not feeling the best. But being able to say, okay, I feel this way, but I also have this in my life, you know, and looking at these things of gratitude, that oneness, to be able to get you back to the moment of living now and appreciating what is in this moment, this day, for you as an individual. So I'm hoping my journal will help that way, or however people want to use it. Totally fine.
I love it. No, thank you. I love that you're bringing so many different ways for people to live in the now, to be empowered, to help people that are struggling with grief and loss, and open up your heart and your journey for them, to support them on their journey, and that you're creating retreats and a radio show in so many ways, a journal, that people can get support in accepting all of who they are, that oneness, that wholeness, and living in the now, because time is precious. So thank you, Karen, for the beautiful work that you do. Thank you for leaning into all of us and sharing with us today. I so appreciate it. Listeners, I want to encourage you to go to Karen's site, check it out, stay in touch. She has all these things that are launching and coming forward that you can be in the loop on and connect with her on a deeper level. So I encourage you to do that. And I encourage you to find some steps today that you can take to bring your book forward, to bring your message forward. It's absolutely needed. And that prompting, that pulling, is because someone needs it now. So we have an opportunity to live in the now, not just in how we're living our life, how we're choosing to be, but also in what we're bringing forward, what we're willing to share with others now, not someday, but now. And I think and believe one of the greatest gifts that you can do and bring forward is sharing more of you. And writing is such an important, powerful way to do that, to touch people's lives and to pour into them. So as you go out into the world, I encourage you to take a couple moments to pause, digest what's speaking to your heart and spirit, put something in the calendar to help you start to bring forward what you are called to bring forward. If I can support any way on the journey, I'm honored to do so. Just go to our website, yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You'll find all sorts of tools and resources, including a button at the bottom you can click that says Meet with Rebecca. So I'm always happy to have a conversation to support you on your journey. So as you go forward out into the world, I want to encourage you to find a way, take some steps, build that team to bring your beautiful, powerful, and needed book forward. Have a great week, everyone. I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall-Gruyter for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.